If Jess Hilarious from the Breakfast Club wasn't already fired, she's definitely about to be fired now. And I'm going to tell you why.
What happened at the Breakfast Club? She took that job. She got that job. Because I think she had a social media presence. I can't imagine why else.
Yeah, that's why, yeah.
So she got that job. And I always said she wasn't talented. She got the job and got knocked up shortly afterwards. And the worst thing in the world happened. They brought in somebody who was talented.
Who they bring in?
Homegirl from, she used to be on TMZ.
Yeah.
Oh.
She has experience with doing that.
Nigga Corey, that nigga ain't saying nothing that ain't nobody else saying. It's just that he don't like me. He already don't like me. So it's like, all right, he gonna pack it on. You know, them niggas let her have a failed day with Jess, because I done had a failed day with his ass. Trust and believe that nigga still hurt. Still hurt that I wouldn't accept his apology. Still hurt. That's on him. Still hurt. You know what I mean? It's okay. It's all right. He'll be all right. Y'all gonna hear me. I don't do that. The problem is communication. Yeah. It been that. You rich Jess, who cares? Nigga, I care. I still care. Because it's still about policy and protocol and it's principles to the nigga. Like, nah. This shit said it's been said. Up there. I'm not fighting over no mic space. I'm not fighting over no mic. That's why I went from shut up and hush to not saying nothing. Nah. I'm not gonna compete where I already won this competition. I didn't know it was supposed to be 4. If this was presented to me, you know, prior to hire, then I wouldn't have been so shocked. Like, oh, shit, okay, cool. So when we bringing in the 4th person, shit, what's up? Cool. It's only time for that segment. Shorty is like that. Yeah. That's why I picked her to fill in for me for maternity leave. This woman every day. Every day. I don't have no reason to get on that girl. I don't. No, I didn't like her when I came back because I'm like, all right, what's going on? What's going on? She knew it. We had a conversation. Because the anger was misplaced. Nah, it ain't even you that I don't like. I'm realizing this is the way these niggas is doing here that I don't like. Okay, got it. It's her segment. I went to the person who does the intros, the sounds. I went to Taylor. Yo, Taylor, make Lauren her intro. Take Jess with the mess off. She says, things can't just change like that. Why the not? Why not? Y'all changing everything else, and I'm the only one that don't know. My goofy don't know nothing. I'm just coming to work every day, just zippity-doo-dah-day. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, take my name out that. Jess with the Mess is not at Breakfast Club. I'm Jess Hilarious up here. Jessica Moore up here. Jess with the Mess is not being done. Lauren LaRosa is doing it. So that need to be her segment. I fought for that segment. What are we talking about? While her fans and her people and the Breakfast Club people and the people in the comments, man, I'm not ready to sit up here and act like I don't see that. Crazy. One thing I ain't never try to do is act unbothered unless she bothered me. Man, what? You try coming back to work. You try to come back to work, and the mother is right there at your desk, and ain't nobody telling you, mind you. Nobody telling you nothing, mind you. Before you know it, everybody thinking you're the villain. When I first came back, I didn't. Even down to how I was supposed to return. Like, we had a whole plan on how I was supposed to come back. When I walk in the room, she never left. First thing she say is not, how your baby doing? No, that was Envy, because he's the family man, right? How was maternity leave? No, that's not the first. The first thing that she talks about is in the comments. What make me want to talk about the first. I got a beautiful baby at home. Why? You know what I'm saying? So no, I did not like her when I first came back. I had to learn that Lauren was not a spiteful person. Like, I'm like, I don't like the way you moving. I don't like, I ain't feeling this. We had a whole nother plan. I don't know what, we supposed to be a team up there. Not one person comes to my defense at all. Like when I'm, like not one mother ever with this online. Like, why the f did we have to keep playing it? Man, listen, I know one thing. Angela Yee ain't that motherfucker crazy. Not as crazy as niggas try to make her out to be. Nah, it's the reason that lady wanted to leave that show. I don't know how she did that 15 years, my nigga. I'm telling you. I don't give a f. Y'all already know. That shit ran like a high school. Yeah. It's ran like a high school.
I just want to interrupt for just a sec to say, first of all, thank you so much for watching this video. And if you're new to the show, please know we're thirsty to grow and to drink some of this warm water with lemon. You can help us out by liking this video and subscribing to the channel. But don't worry, I'm going to give you 5 seconds to hit that like button for me. Thank you. Please follow us on our other socials as well. Thank you for your support. All right, man. So it's a couple of reasons why I wanted to cover this story. One of the reasons I wanted to cover this story is because this is a teachable moment it's going to be a teachable moment for Jess Hilarious. She's either going to find this out the hard way or the easy way. And it looks like to me she's about to find out the hard way. And it's a teachable moment for us as well. Because this is not how you handle a situation. This wouldn't even be the right way to handle a situation if you had already left the job, quit, or been fired. You still shouldn't go on social media and say this. It's never a good look. Even if you're in the right, and I'm going to tell you why. For those of you who don't know, Jess Hilarious, who works at the Breakfast Club and has been there for about a little bit over a year, close to a year and a half, something like that. She started around early February of last year, but by October, she was leaving for maternity leave. And when she was leaving for maternity leave, apparently she handpicked this lady named Lauren to fill in for her. And I guess according to what Jess is saying, when she returned from maternity leave, it was clear to her that Lauren had become the priority instead of just a replacement. Which brings me to the second reason why I'm covering this story. It's because I've been in this situation before. And I 100% know how this goes 99% of the time. When I was in the same situation, I wasn't in Jess's position. I was actually Lauren in the situation. So in other words, there was a point in time in my life I was hired for, and a lot of you all know I have my master's degree and all of that. I was hired for this job. I didn't find out until I was hired for the job that I was going to be filling in for a person that worked at the same place I worked at, because they were getting ready to leave within the next half a year for paternity leave. So that person's job was to, pretty much train me and show me the ropes and show me how to effectively do their job while they would be out. I didn't find it out until I was hired. Cool. I'm maybe 2 or 3 months into my role at this place, and one of my, let's just say, colleagues, for lack of a better term, because I'm trying to do my best without giving too much away. One of my colleagues pulled me to the side one day and they said, hey, I want to share something with you, but only if you promise me you won't repeat it. I was like, all right, cool. What's up? And they said, listen, I have reason to believe that such and such is gatekeeping when it comes to you. And at that point in time, I had only ever heard the term gatekeeping as it applied to like the music industry or like CEOs and things like that. So in other words, like P. Diddy and Kevin Hart's like gatekeeping as far as like preventing people from being able to enter the industry, preventing people from being able to have opportunities. That's the only term that's the only way in which I had ever heard the term gatekeeping being used. So I'm like, what do you mean gatekeeping? And this person said, I think I've just watched the way this person interacts with you around us. And then I've watched the way this person interacts with us when you're not around. And I just have reason to believe that they're withholding information from you when it comes to various topics. And I was like, oh, why? But why would they do that? And this person said, in my opinion, I think it's because they're intimidated by you. And I was like, why would they be intimidated by me? I'm new to the work. I've never done it before. I'm still trying to learn. And this person said, it's not about that. It's about the potential. It's about if they were to tell you and share the information that they know, what you would do with the information as opposed to what they're doing with it. And I was like, oh, I had never thought about that before. And all it took was about 2 or 3 months. Over the next 2 to 3 months, after this person shared this with me, I 100% noticed it immediately. The person that was supposed to be teaching and training me wasn't even showing me how to do the job effectively. But then when we get around like the bosses at the organization, they'll present themselves in a way as if they've been showing me how to do everything. So in other words, I was looking like I was incompetent and just wasn't learning the work. And they were looking competent the entire time and looking like they had been doing everything they were supposed to be doing. It's so that when they were getting ready to leave for paternity leave, they knew that I wouldn't be equipped to do the job well, and they would still be secure in their position. I've never shared that story before, but that's important here because what Jess doesn't want to do is hop on social media and feed into the trolls and feed into the people on social media because they're not the ones that's going to be hiring you. And apparently part of the problem is that once Jess left, Lauren filled in for her. People in the comment section was just praising Lauren, say, hey, you're really good at your job. I like you better than Jess. And why won't you make this a permanent thing? Hey, they should bring you on full time. And it started to get to Jess because once she got back, Lauren decided to have a conversation with her about it. And it apparently was the first thing she talked about as opposed to asking her how maternity leave was, asked her how her baby was doing. And this is just never the right way to handle it if you're Jess. If I was Jess, don't give the internet all your business. Go to the people at the Breakfast Club if you have any type of relationship with them, instead of bashing them, saying that the Breakfast Club is ran like a high school, which I don't doubt. Saying things like you don't understand how Angela Yee was able to stay there for 10, 13 years, however long it was. You don't know how she was able to do it. But if I may, I'll give my thoughts on how any of you all are able to do it. It's because, in my opinion, I think a lot of you all are toxic. I mean, when you look at the stuff, listen to the section that you had, Just with the Mess. Your job was to gossip on the show. You do that for free. You do that in real time. So if your job is to get on the microphone and say what you're doing on stage anyways as a comedian, or to say what you're doing for free at home, gossiping about people, but now you're getting a paycheck for it on a radio station, what changes? What's quote unquote professional about that job when a lot of it is drama filled, right? And if you handpicked Lauren yourself and you knew that she was good at her job, why are you surprised? Why are you shocked that she did such a great job? If you are content and comfortable in your position, then come back and knock it out the park, right? Or listen to great critique on what may be the issue that the audience is having with you as the main act, if you will. Because a lot of things that I've heard about Jess Hilarious, and I actually agree with this, is that she comes off as very masculine, she comes off as very aggressive, and it turns people off. Because there's a lot of men and women that watch the show. And when they're watching and interacting with the show, and they're seeing how she, like even in the video that she was just talking, she came off as like super aggressive. And people typically don't like that. They're not really rocking with that. They want you to be a little bit more humble, have a little bit more humility, speak a little softer. You know, even, I mean, yeah, it's not fair because that may not be your personality type. But if they're going to listen to a woman, it is what it is. They want to hear a woman, not some woman that almost masquerading as a man. And that's no disrespect to Jess. I'm just saying what a lot of since we're talking about the comment section, what a lot of the comment section is saying, right? But this is a teachable moment for all of us, especially as so-called black folks, because a lot of times we don't have these corporate positions until we're in it for the first time, so we don't have other people to rely on to get advice from in our family or our friend circles, because it's a lot of us, it's our first time out of all of us who's experiencing this. So we don't really know what to expect, and then we learn it for the first time. We're witnessing things for the first time and don't know how to pick up on it until after we've experienced it, which is why I wanted to speak on this and say, I've been here before. And the good thing for Lauren, from what, according to Jess, I hadn't heard from Lauren yet, is that it sounds like Jess actually showed her the ropes, and it sounds like Lauren was a natural. Lauren had experience in this field already. As opposed to my situation, I was totally reluctant or reliant upon the people in that field to show me how to do it. And it turns out that they did what apparently a lot of people do typically, it's a common practice, and that's to shorthand another person so that they don't take their position. It's just silly. It's a dog-eat-dog world, man. It's a cutthroat business, and you're going to learn it the hard way. The easy way or the hard way. And the way Jess is handling this, I'm not a fan of it. Y'all hop in the comment section. Give me your thoughts. Let me know what you think about this. I'm Demetrius. I go by DD. That's all for this one, man. Until next time. Peace. Oh, yeah. DD got a podcast.